Hello guys, welcome to our channel Shubhada Group of Education CC. You are watching Satish physics videos for KCET and NEET. So, uh, moving charges and magnetism. We shall discuss the synopsis on that chapter. Okay, so here we do have moving charges as well as magnetism, correct? As you know that suppose if we have a conductor like this, suppose if there is a flow of electric current, then there must be magnetic field surrounding to this current carrying conductor. This is what we have studied, right? So magnet, that is called magnetic field, which is a vector quantity usually denoted by the letter capital B. Okay, the SI unit of the magnetic field strength or magnetic field is Tesla. Okay, so this is, we have studied already, capital T, Tesla, correct? So or else we can make it as Weber per meter square. Okay, Weber per meter square. This is also one more unit of the SI unit of the magnetic field strength. Okay, after that you have studied Biot-Savart's law, correct? Biot-Savart's law, which will give you Biot-Savart's law. Okay, so this is called Biot-Savart's law, which will give you the magnetic field due to a current carrying conductor at any point, correct? So that is what magnetic field, the varying magnetic field dB. Let me denote it in the vector quantity, because magnetic field is a vector quantity. It is mu naught divided by 4 pi into I into dl, vector dl cross vector r divided by r square. Okay, so now this will become r cube, as it is a vector quantity. That's the reason why it is r cube here. Okay, see, please try to remember that. So r is the distance at which we need to calculate the magnetic field due to a straight current carrying conductor. So this is I here, so now this is the distance r, so at which we need to calculate the magnetic field. Okay, so after that we have studied that mu naught by 4 pi itself is a constant, and its value is 10 to the power of minus 7. Okay, 10 to the power of minus 7, and so therefore I will get mu naught permeability of the free space is equal to 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7. This is what Henry per meter. Henry per meter. Okay, so this is what we have studied on Biot-Savart's law, correct? So after that we have studied the magnetic field due to a current carrying loop. Okay, magnetic field magnetic field magnetic field due to a current carrying loop, due to a current carrying loop. Okay, so suppose if this is a current carrying loop, at that time some current I is flowing here and it has the radius r. Now this is the distance at which we need to calculate the magnetic field. Okay, so this is the point P. At that time the magnetic field due to a current carrying loop B at point P is given by mu naught divided by 4 pi into 2 pi I into 2 pi I into r square divided by r square plus x square whole to the power of 3 by 2. Okay, so suppose the loop contains n turns, just multiply it by the number of turns n. Okay, this is for one turn or a single turn. Okay, so after that you have studied the center. Suppose if they ask you to find out the value of the magnetic field at the center of the current carrying loop, then at that time you will make x is equal to 0. That's it. Okay, so usually the ratio is very much important. Magnetic field at the center to the magnetic field on its axis, that must be is equal to mu 1 plus x square divided by r square whole to the power of 3 by 2. Okay, so just to try to use this formula to get the answer directly. Okay, sure. So after that you have studied, okay, after that we have studied Ampere's circuital law. Okay, Ampere's circuital law. Ampere's circuital law. Okay, what it says, Ampere's circuital law: the line integral of the magnetic field along a straight along a closed curve is equal to mu naught times the current including in that area of the cross section, correct or not? So that is what integration of the closed integral of b dot dl, that must be equal to the mu naught times the net current included. So the same as Gauss law in electrostatics. Suppose if it is a closed surface, okay, any rough closed surface, it includes the current like this, okay, current like this. Suppose it is like this. So this is 1 ampere current is flowing here, and it is 2 ampere, and it is 3 ampere, and if it is a 4 ampere current, so at that time this 2 ampere current as well as 3 ampere current are the included in this closed surface, correct? And this 1 ampere as well as 4 ampere is the out of the this closed surface. That's the reason we do not consider this 4 ampere as well as 1 ampere, okay? So we consider only 2 ampere as well as 3 ampere. So therefore I will get the net current must be equal to how much? 2 ampere plus 3 ampere. That is what 5 ampere current is included in that, okay? So we ignore. Suppose assume that the one current is like this 3 ampere, and one more current direction is opposite to that, and it is a 2 ampere. At that time we take the subtraction, okay? 3 ampere minus 2 ampere, that is what 1 ampere current will be the net current in that particular closed surface. So this is what the ampere circuital law, okay? After that we have studied the magnetic field due to a straight conductor carrying current, okay? Magnetic field due to a straight conductor carrying current, okay? Straight conductor carrying current, okay? So in this one, for example, let me make a general case here. It's a straight conductor carrying current I, okay? So we need to calculate the magnetic field somewhere here at this point P, okay? So this is the terminal X and this is the terminal Y now, okay? So which makes an angle theta 1, and this is making an theta 2 here, okay? So at that time, so this is a distance D. We can say that the magnetic field at this point B must be equal to mu naught divided by 4 pi into I into sine theta 1 plus sine theta 2 divided by D, provided D is 2 greater than R, okay? D is 2 greater than R we can take here, okay? So this is how you can use it, okay? This is how you can use it. Or else let me move to this one. Suppose if it's a conductor like this, okay, current I is flowing there. First, if you want to calculate the magnetic field, so you have the derivation in the board examination, right? For the board examination syllabus, by using the ampere circuital law, you have calculated magnetic field B equal to mu naught I divided by 2 pi d. 2 pi d. This is the distance D here, okay? Mu naught I divided by 2 pi d. This is also usable concept to solve number of the problems here, okay? Sure. Suppose I will give you a hint for you now. This is a very much important concept, okay? So magnetic field at the center due to circular ring, okay? Suppose it is a circular ring now, some current I is flowing. At that time, this is the center O at which we need to calculate the magnetic field, okay? So to find out that, let me give a simple hint here. B equal to mu naught divided by 4 pi into theta I divided by R. R is the radius, okay? See, the current is flowing like this, okay? Current is flowing like this, and current I is flowing, and the radius is R now, okay? So theta, how to consider theta in the sense, suppose if it is a circular ring, at that time you know that theta equal to how much? 360 degree, or else it is how much? 2 pi radians. 2 pi radians. That's the reason why we can take theta equal to 2 pi. Suppose if it is a semicircular ring like this, okay, at that time theta is going to be how much? Only pi, 180 degree, correct? Suppose it is like this, at that time it is 90 degree, correct? So this is why it is pi by 2. Like this, you need to consider the value of theta. Use this equation. This is a general equation which is very helpful for you to solve the number of the problems. I have solved number of the problems on that. Please try to watch them. Okay, so theta I divided by r. Okay, as you know that, suppose if it is a conductor like this, current I is flowing on its axis. Now this is also dotted lines are axis, right? Always the magnetic field on the axis of the straight conductor is always going to be how much? 0. It is always going to be 0. Please try to remember that. Okay. The next concept is on a solenoid. A current carrying solenoid. The magnetic field due to the solenoid along its axis must be equal to mu naught n into I. Number of the n is nothing but number of turns per unit. So after that we have studied magnetic force on a moving charge. Okay, magnetic force on a moving charge in a magnetic field. Okay, suppose if there is a magnetic field like this, at that time, suppose a charge q enters to this region which is moving with velocity v, a speed v. At that time, the force on it must be equal to q into v into b into sine theta. Okay, so theta is the angle between velocity or speed as well as magnetic field, or else we can say in the vector form it is F equal to q into v cross b. F equal to q into v cross b. Okay, this is very much important one, very much important. Suppose when it comes to the magnetic field, it always traces the circular path here when the angle between velocity or speed of the charge as well as magnetic field is 90 degree. At that time we can say that mv square divided by centripetal force, mv square divided by r is equal to q into v into b. Okay, so mv is the centripetal force of with a radius r here. This is the radius r. So at that time we can get the value of r as how much? mv divided by qb. mv divided by qb. Okay, mv divided by, so mv is nothing but momentum p divided by qb. Momentum p divided by qb, linear momentum. Okay, linear momentum. Similarly, the angular velocity omega must be equal to 2 pi f, right? 2 pi f, that is nothing but how much it is? 2 pi, that is qb divided by m. qb divided by m we can take, or else it is v divided by r, so that is what m qb divided by m. Okay, similarly the frequency of radiations, frequency of revolution, mu or else f we can take, no problem. That is what qb divided by 2 pi m. qb divided by 2 pi m. So the frequency is inversely proportional to time period. So the time period t must be equal to 2 pi m divided by qb. 2 pi m divided by qb. Next one is okay, this is very much important, which is very much important. Okay, so you can expect some problems on this one. Okay, so but when a particle of charge q enters the magnetic field, if v is neither parallel or perpendicular to magnetic field, which makes some angle theta with the magnetic field, at that time the motion of the charged particle is helix. Okay, this is very much important. It is helical path. Okay, helical path in the sense it is like this. Okay, helical path. Okay, so at that time the radius v is given by, radius of this helical path must be equal to mv sine theta divided by qb. mv sine theta divided by qb. Okay, similarly the angular velocity omega must be equal to v sine theta divided by r, or else it is qb divided by m. qb divided by m. The frequency mu equal to qb divided by 2 pi m. qb divided by 2 pi m, and the period of revolution t must be equal to 2 pi, same 2 pi m divided by qb. This is what very much important here. Okay, the pitch of the helical path, this is what the pitch, we can say the time taken by the charged particle to revolve one circular path like this is called pitch. T must be equal to, the pitch of the helical path must be equal to, this is nothing but 2 pi m 2 pi m 2 pi m divided by qb into v cos theta, into v cos theta. Okay, so this is how we can take it. Okay, or else you can take it as tv cos theta, tv cos theta. 2 pi divided by qb is the time period, so that's the reason tv cos theta. Okay, pitch, this is what pitch of the helical path, pitch of the helical path. Okay, pitch. The next concept is nothing but the motion of the charged particle in the combined electric and magnetic fields. This is what Lorentz force equation. This is what Lorentz force equation, that is what force equal to q into E plus qvb sine theta. Okay, so this is due to electric field and this is due to magnetic field. Okay, so that's it, nothing different here. Okay, so after that you have studied about velocity selector. In velocity selector, you know that qb v sine theta, that must be equal to q into E. Okay, so usually we will take the sine theta is 90 degree and the theta is 90 degree, so sine 90 will become 1 here. So that's the reason why, that is the condition in velocity selector. Okay, qvb must be equal to q into E, so that's the reason why you can say that the velocity of the charged particle in the velocity selector must be constant and its value is E divided by B. Okay, after that this arrangement can be used in the velocity selector. Okay, this is very much important, velocity selector. So after that you studied cyclotron frequency, as well as you know that cyclotron which is used to accelerate the positively charged particles, cyclotron, correct or not? So this in the cyclotron frequency mu equal to qb divided by 2 pi m, and the maximum kinetic energy attained by the charged particles in the cyclotron must be equal to b square q square r square divided by 2 times mass of the charged particles. Okay, so this is what very much important. Okay, so after that you have studied about the magnetic force on a conductor carrying current. Magnetic force F equal to vector F equal to I into L cross B, that is what BIL sine theta. Okay, BIL sine theta. Okay, this is what very much important here. So the last concept here, it is the force between two parallel conductors carrying current. Okay, so assume that some current is like this. We have already studied about it. At that time both the conductors will attract to one another. So that's the reason why F must be equal to mu naught divided by 4 pi into 2 times IA IB, or I1 I2 divided by D. D is the separation between them. Okay, this is the separation between them. So this is IA and this is IB, current flowing through the two conductors. Suppose if the direction is opposite, at that time they repel each other. Please try to remember that. Okay, the last concept in this particular chapter is nothing but the torque on a current loop. Okay, torque on a current loop here. Okay, so the torque on a current loop, in the sense the torque tau equal to m into b into sine theta. Okay, n into b into sine theta. Torque tau is equal to m into b into sine theta. So where b is called as magnetic field, m is the magnetic dipole moment. Okay, magnetic dipole moment. Please try to remember that. Magnetic dipole moment. M equal to magnetic dipole moment, m equal to NIA. N is the number of returns, current, I is the current, and A is the area of the cross section. NIA. Okay, torque tau equal to mb sine theta, where m is the magnetic dipole moment, that is m equal to NIA. Please try to remember that. Okay, so after that, work done to rotate the coil through an angle pi. Okay, so work done. So work done, W equal to m into b into 1 minus cos theta. And the potential energy stored, U must be equal to minus mb cos theta. Okay, minus mb cos theta. So usual magnitude we can take it as mb cos theta. mb cos theta. Okay, please try to remember that. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. All the best for your examinations.